Alright, you guys, today is Tuesday. I was on a $10 and a $15 blackjack table. Same table, they just upped it. Usually our casino sucks, and when it gets busy, they up the limits on everybody just so that the dealer can sit there and listen to these people bitch. Thankfully, I was on break when they raised the table limit, so I didn't have to hear all that complaining, like, oh, I've been here for 3 hours playing at $10, and now you're going to up it, and now I have to play 15, I'm out of here. You guys don't care about us, and blah, blah, blah. No, the casino does not care about you. They only care about your money. That's why they treat people that bring more money differently than people who bring $100. Anywho, I had a fairly good day. I dropped about $250 in tokes, and that's pretty good on a $10 and a $15 table. And I stood at a dead table for maybe an hour to an hour and a half. So that was pretty good. I didn't encounter too many characters today. I did have one drunk lady who was cut off, even though she wasn't acting drunk, but she had ordered like 7 or 8 double Jack and Cokes, and she seemed like she was completely fine, so she was an alcoholic. But it kind of pissed me off that they cut her off, because she was the one that was tipping the most. She was putting me in for $1 to $5, every few hands. And the reason she left is so that she could go sit at the bar, because the servers were not serving her anymore. So, whatever. Today I did encounter a couple people who were the advice givers, who didn't follow basic strategy but had all the advice in the world. I.e., you don't split your 4s against a 5, and you don't double a 9 versus a 3. You don't hit your soft 18 versus a 9. But then they stay on their 12 against a 2 or a 3. So they give all kinds of bad advice, and they do stupid stuff themselves. I did have quite a few winners at my table. I did have one lady who lost $1,530, I think it was, and she kept saying it was fine because she gets paid tomorrow. I'm gonna get it back. I want to get my $1,500 back, but if I don't, it's fine because I get paid tomorrow. That's a lady who shouldn't be there. She should go report herself to the Players Club, and they should ban her from the casino for a year, because clearly she's playing with money she should not be. But, nobody can tell her what to do because that's her money. What else did I have here? Oh, I had a guy who didn't split 8s because that's just stupid. I don't know how you guys come to the casino with the thoughts of beating a losing game and then playing the losing game incorrectly, which forces you to lose more. So, yeah, every idiot who has played blackjack at least a dozen times has had at least one winning day. And that's all they remember. They don't remember all their losses because they like to forget those. But yeah, I would say never take any player at the table's advice unless they seem to be having a lot of chips at their disposal and it looks like they're not thinking about their decisions. If they're just doing without thinking, then they probably know what they're doing. I did encounter the guy that didn't know it was his turn, I like to call him, and that's the guy that's usually on third base or the last seat 5 or seat 6, depending on how many spots you have at your table. And this guy was the guy who waited till it was his turn to double down. So when you have a hand that you want to double down, it don't matter if it's your turn or not, stick your chips out there. The dealer will see the 2 piles of chips and he'll immediately give you a card and move on with the day. But this guy waited till it was his turn, and then he'd be like, oh, he didn't even have his chips ready, and then he'd have to count out his chips, 3 or 4 of them, and that takes everybody forever, because I don't know why. I really have no clue why. Unless you're like 90 years old and a walker, you should be able to grab 4 chips without it taking you a minute and a half. And then he sits it out there and he's like, 1, I want to double down. Well, no shit, asshole. I know you can't split a 5 and a 6, so I know what you're doing. Thanks. Next time, just put your chips out there and I'll know. But sometimes you like to look at the cards and see what came. If there was 3 face cards that came, his logic was there's going to be another one in there, which is usually the opposite for people's logic is, oh, those are all little ones that came out. Oh, so the big one's coming. Now I know I can double. Which is smarter logic than this guy had. But I mean, whatever. So, sorry I don't have any other cool stories for today. That was about it. Did have a couple people that were smoking. One lady let me play her hand the entire time because she didn't know what she was doing. So she did all right. I didn't count the cards and tell her what to do on the deviations. I just played straight up basic strategy for her. And she did all right for a while, and then she went and played free bet blackjack, which you should never play. And then she came back and she lost, but she stuck around for longer than most people. But that's all I'm going to talk about today.